how you can use an ultrasonic sensor on your robot and also introduce a couple of new concepts along the way. So like always, we're going to go in and create a new project program. And once it loads, we are going to first name our program Ultrasonic Testing. And then the first thing we're going to go is we're going to go into this new yellow tab, which we haven't done before, but this is the sensor tab where you can directly get the values from all the sensors that we use on a robot. So we're going to go over these and go over here, select the ultrasonic sensor. So what the ultrasonic sensor can do is it can measure the distance from the closest object in front of it. So here we can do measure distance in centimeters or inches, so we'll do centimeters. And then here's this data wire, so we can get its output, but we'll get to that in a second. And also just another quick thing to note is here are the ports, like always, where it should correspond to the port number you plug it into on your robot. So if we want to use this sensor block, because on its own it doesn't do anything, it just gives a value, we want to go into this flow control, the orange block we've been using, and introduce a new operator, which is the switch statement. Or no, sorry, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go into this new data operations block. So here you can do a lot of math stuff like storing variables and doing calculations. And we're going to go over to this block called the range block. So basically what this range block does is we can input a value here and then see if it's either within or out of this range. And through this wire right here, it's going to output true or false to see if it's either in or out based on. So like if I select inside, this will return true if this value is within this two range. If it's outside, this will return true if this value is not in this range. So how we're going to use this with the ultrasonic sensor block is we can take this data wire, which we can drag in to the input value right here, and this basically is outputting the distance in centimeter, and this is the value we're putting through this range operator. So we're going to go inside, check if it's inside this value, and let's say we want our robot to know when we're within 0 or 20 centimeters of like the closest object or wall. So now if this value outputs is within 0 or 20 centimeters, this will return true. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the flow control and introduce the switch statement. So the switch statement is very useful, and what it can let us do is put in some sort of input, and then if that input is true, then it'll run this code, otherwise it'll run this code. So now that we have this, we can select our switch statement to look at logic, because this returns true or false, and logic means true or false, and we're going to take the output of this range block and drag it in here. So now, if this is true, it'll run this code, otherwise it'll run this code. And then let's just do something like, if it's true, we'll stop moving. So we can go over here and select off, otherwise we'll drive forward. Alright, that looks good. And then one more thing is we want to always be doing this, so we should put it in a loop. So I'll make the loop unlimited, and then drag over all this stuff. Well, alright, I'll just put it individually. Oops. Alright, there's probably a better way to do this. And I'll just remake all my connections. And there we go. So what this code should do is it should read from the ultrasonic sensor, and then if there is an object within 20 centimeters, it will stop moving. So what I want you to do now is I want you to try to use the ultrasonic sensor to follow a wall. So you can put the ultrasonic sensor on the side of your robot and see if you can follow within a certain range of that wall. So let's say stay within 10 centimeters of that wall. Okay, thank you.